Good morning, everyone. Today, in this lecture, we are going to start the module number 4 of our syllabus, and that is wireless LAN. Okay, so we'll start with the wireless LAN. Okay, so today in this lecture, we are going to see the introductory part of wireless LAN. We will see the characteristics of wireless LAN. Then we will see the advantages, disadvantages, and after that we will see which factors we should consider while designing the wireless LAN. That is designing goals of wireless LAN. And finally, if time permits, we'll see the basic type of wireless LAN. Okay. So let's begin with the introductory part. Okay. We'll begin with the introductory part. So all the mobile communication technologies, as we know, are standardized by IEEE. That we know very well. Okay, all the technologies are standardized by IEEE. Okay, now IEEE has classified these technologies into uh, three types. One is the local wireless networks, then personal wireless network, that is WPAN 802.15, and wide area network. Okay, so local area networks or local wireless network, in case of wireless we will talk about. So local wireless network are standardized by IEEE 802.11 standard, whereas personal wireless networks are standardized by 802.15 and wireless distribution networks are standardized by 802.16. Okay, these three networks are there. And WMAN, that is the wireless metropolitan area network, is called as a wireless distribution network. So we will only focus right now on local wireless network. So these are typically restricted in their diameter, maybe restricted to building or area that they cover, or some building area, or that means their area is normally shorter or smaller, we can say. So like a building or a campus, or it is restricted to room, and they are operated by individuals, not by the network providers. Okay, so if it is in the campus, then there may be a central authority inside the campus, like a college or school, which will be setting up this wireless LAN rather than the network provider. Okay, so that is the concept of wireless LAN. So that's why it is called as a local, and it is, or it is coverage, or its coverage area is much shorter as compared to the other networks, like wide area networks or metropolitan area networks. Okay, so the universal goal of this wireless LAN is to replace the office cabling, that is whatever cabling that we require for setting up a network, that should be replaced, so that we can utilize more space inside a room or inside a campus, and you can avoid infrastructure related issues, okay, which may happen in the case of maintenance of wired LAN. Okay, so that is the first goal. Then our second goal is, it is universally accepted, is to replace wires for internet access. So you might be aware about mobile tethering. Okay, that means if we connect our mobile through a wire to the computer, we should be able to access the internet. Okay, so that is tethering. So to enable tetherless access to the internet, that is the another goal. Okay, so without using a wire, okay, without using the wire, how can we use the internet? For that, WLAN, that is wireless LAN, have been designed, and then to introduce a higher flexibility for a ad hoc wireless communication. That means ad hoc communication means here on the spot, if you want to create a network in the case of such emergencies, in the case of emergencies also, then we should be able to create a small network among 4, 5 or 10 people, like that. So in case of group meetings, we can use that, so that we should be able to do using the wireless LAN. Okay, so these are universal goals. The more details about these goals we are going to see later on, later on in this particular module. Okay, so we will suggest, let's first look at the characteristics of such wireless LANs. So as we know, wireless LANs are just like our normal LANs, that is wired LANs, so or local area net, wired local area networks. But the medium here is a air medium, that is a free space. That means wireless. It is in the form of wireless. So the characteristics we will talk about only advantage and disadvantages. So that will define its characteristics. So first talking about the advantages. So first advantage is its flexibility. First advantage of it is flexibility. Okay. So wireless LANs are very flexible within its reception area. What does it that means? So no matter how small or large your room is, or how congested or how many different obstacles are there present in the room, wireless LAN will be still able to communicate, because radio waves can penetrate walls, and senders and receivers can be placed anywhere in the room. So the room geometry or wall geometry will not define quality of your communication, or will not define your communication because of it. Okay, so that is one of the major advantage of these wireless LANs. You can stay anywhere, not necessarily you have to sit at one place, and only then you will be able to communicate. So it allows that flexibility to roam around anywhere within that small area and still be able to communicate with each other. Okay, then the second advantage is related to the regarding emergencies. Okay, so let's say there is a certain emergency like flood or anything else. Okay, flood or fire. Then in order to communicate in such situation where there is no infrastructure available, we should be able to create a network without any previous planning. Okay, so that is one more advantage. So one of the advantage of wireless LAN is, without such proper planning, we are able to create a ad hoc networks very easily. Okay, the details of such networks we will see later on in this module. Okay, so ad hoc networks without previous planning are possible due to wireless LAN. So as long as devices are following the same standard of the network, they can communicate, and there is no need of setting up a wiring, or maintenance of these wirings are required. So that is another advantage. Then the third advantage is its design. Okay, so because of absence of wires in the communication, the wireless networks allows design of a small portable devices which can be put into a pocket also. So for example, our mobiles. So mobile handset is one of the example. Then notebooks, then tabs. So we can put it into the pocket or a bag. Laptops can be carried through the bag. So design of small devices is possible because of lack of wires. So that is one of the advantage of wireless LAN. Then next advantage is its robustness. Okay, now robustness means here the ability to function properly. Okay, so even in the moment of crisis. Okay, so what type of crisis so we may face during the communication or during the existence of a network? For example, like natural disaster like earthquake or like fire, or sometimes if you are using a network or you are a part of a network inside a home, then if somebody comes in and it switches off your modem, then in that case of wired network, your communication may get broken. Okay, but that will not be a problem in case of wireless LAN. Okay, so because there will be no one can pull the wired, or pull the plug of your communication. So that is your communication. That way your communication will be a wireless communication. Okay, so no need to worry about somebody breaking into your communication like a kids or rats or someone like that who will going to break out your wires. Okay, so you don't need to worry about that. So its robustness to function properly even in the situation of crisis in is one of the advantage. Okay, so that is one more advantage. Okay, then the next advantage is its cost. Okay, now cost, we are talking in terms of scalability, means even if we have to set up our network considering only 4 or 5 participants, so adding more participants will not increase the cost of your wireless LAN because there are no wires we need to install. So any number of users can add or any number of users can leave your network very easily. So without costing you extra in such situations. Okay, so that is another advantage. We have seen about 5 to 6 advantages. It is flexible, planning is required, planning we can very easily plan it, design, then robustness and the cost we have seen. Okay, then there are certain limitations also. There are certain limitations also. So we will see the limitations too. Okay, so some of the limitations we will see or drawbacks we can say. So because everything comes with the advantage as well as it will have some disadvantages too. So first limitation is quality of service. Okay, that wireless LAN can provide. So when we talk about quality of service or QoS, if you remember, so we talk about latency, we talk about delay, then bandwidth, throughput, jitter, efficiency. So many other parameters are there. So if we consider only one parameter like a bandwidth, suppose. So for example, wireless LAN provide very low bandwidth compared to the wired LANs. Okay. So why is that? Because in wired LAN, we have a dedicated physical medium between two communication parties. Suppose two nodes, here is one node and here is another node, then that particular nodes are connected via a physical wired medium or via physical cable in the case of wired LAN. Okay, so whatever data that is exchanged through this particular cable is only used by these two nodes. Okay, no other nodes will going to use that particular data. Okay, so the particular communication is happening between these two nodes only. So both nodes have entire bandwidth which is provided by this particular cable. Okay, available for communication. So if you are using ethernet, bandwidth will be in megabytes, 110 megabytes or per second or something like that. Or if you are using fiber optic or optical fiber, so it may goes up to 100 and 200 mbps also. So entire bandwidth will be available for these two nodes only. But in the case of wireless LAN, there are no physical cable. Okay, and medium between nodes 1 and node 2, suppose this here is node 1 and here is node 2. In the case of wireless LAN, the medium will be the wired medium. Okay, the wireless medium. Okay, so the node 1 and node 2 is wireless and air is shared by everyone within the environment. Okay, so whether they are part of your wireless LAN or not, it doesn't matter. Okay, suppose there is a electrical equipment or there is a radio which is transmitting certain packets which is already in the air. If someone is transmitting packets, okay, and these are not a part of your network, but still if its frequency matches with yours, then it can cause problem to your communication. So the quality of service degrades in such cases because the medium which is air, is shared by everyone within the environment. So that is the meaning of limitation here. So then the next limitation is because of the popularity and its several advantages. Several vendors are coming up with their own solutions to provide the wireless lines. Okay, so different organizations establish their own wireless network. So home users are establishing their own wireless network. The devices which are used for these networks are also vendor specific. Okay, so now different providers provide different features also. So one problem with such a variety of product is that these additional features which are provided by different providers only worked within the homogeneous environment. Okay, now homogeneous environment means if you are using a company wireless network, whatever communication or whatever devices that you are using for the network will not work in other company environment. Okay, because obviously that company has set up a wireless LAN considering its own employees only. Okay, so that is one example. So we can take another example also, maybe an analogical example similar to this particular limitation is that, so suppose if you are using a 3G phone, so it will not work in a 4G environment because 4G provides higher features which are not supported by the 3G phone. Okay, so reverse compatibility is there, but forward compatibility is not provided. Okay, so or if you are using a GSM SIM card, so it won't work on a CDMA technology. Okay, so this is just an analogy, not actual wireless LAN, but similar to that, different vendors, for example, suppose a D-Link is one of the vendor who can provide wireless routers. So D-Link is following certain regulations or standards which may not be compatible with the other vendors. Okay, so D-Link devices may not work in any other networks also. So many proprietary solutions are providing this type of problems or having this type of problems that their or that they work only in their own environment. Okay, not to any other environment. So that is the one of their restrictions. Then the next disadvantage is as medium is shared. Okay, as medium is shared, so every country is posing certain restrictions. Every government is posing certain restrictions. So if you are communicating through the wireless media, because everyone can hear your communication, so there are certain rules and regulation followed by each and every country, and it is regulated by an government authority. Okay, so with respect to that country, for example, there is a regulatory authority for India, and it is also known as TRAI, जिसको हम ट्राई कहते हैं, that is Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, which defines the standards, rules and regulations for setting up wireless LAN within the India. Okay, so if you are setting up a wireless LAN, you have to follow the guidelines of TRAI, that is TRAI. Okay, so if you are not able to follow the guidelines of TRAI or TRAI, then Indian authorities may take legal actions against you. Okay, so if you want to set up a global solutions, you have to consider these regulations for each country. For example, if you want to set up a wireless network in 5 different countries, then you have to follow the regulations of 5 different governments in order to make your product usable in all those 5 countries. Okay, so that is one of the restriction of using wireless LAN. Then the next disadvantage is your safety and security. So if you talk about safety, wireless LANs are radiating electromagnetic waves. so which can be hazardous to human health. So if you are considering or you are you are continuously or you are consistently exposed to this, then it will have impact on your health. So for example, employees working in the office environment which is supported by Wi-Fi, so they will be working around suppose 9 to 10 hours in that environment. And if you are working for majority of years like 10-20 years for in the same environments, then it will have impact on your health also. Okay, so that is one of the drawback of wireless LAN. Then as the medium is shared, anyone who is smart enough that can eavesdrop in your communication. So as there is no physical medium, it becomes easier to eavesdrop into your communication. So that is one of the drawback regarding its security. Okay, then we will talk about next we will talk about the goals of or designing goals of wireless LANs. Okay, so till now we have seen what are the advantages, what are disadvantages. So if you have decided to set up your own wireless LAN, which factors you should consider for designing such networks, that we will see. So the first factor you should consider is the wireless LAN that you are going to implement should be global. Wireless LAN that you are going to set up should be global. Okay, and it should provide a seamless operation. So wireless LANs, you are putting your network into the market, so it should sell in all the countries. So if you want to produce a product to be sold in all the countries, you have to follow the rules and regulations of all the countries. So national and international frequency regulations have to be considered before designing a नेटवर्क. ठीक है, तो ये आपको हमेशा याद रखना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे. ओके, so it's not use if you have designed a network and after that you are trying to find out what are the rules and regulations, so that will not be of any use. So before implementing your product or bringing your product into the market, you should consider all frequency regulations followed by all the countries. Okay, so where you want to sell your product. Okay, then apart from this, if you compare wireless LAN to the wide area network, the equipments associated with the LAN is a smaller one, so you can carry that from one nation to any other nations also. So that is not possible in the case of wide area networks because those equipments will be much larger and costlier. So while moving the equipments from one location to another, especially in the case of countries, you should also consider that those equipments follow the same regulation provided by all the countries. Okay, so operation should still be legal in all the countries. So that is the first design goal. So while designing your wireless LAN, okay, then the second factor or second design goal is the low power for your battery use. Low power for your battery use. So we know that in most of the cases, the devices which are used for communication in wireless LAN is a mobile devices. So that means they are portable devices. So most of the time they are operating on a limited amount of power resources that are available to them. Okay, so LAN design should take into the account that devices are running on a battery power, and these devices must implement power saving modes or power management functions into it. Okay, or if you are designing a LAN, then the protocols that you are designing should also consider the power availability within the network. Okay, so routing protocols are designed for such wireless LANs where they consume a lot of power in wired networks, but they are adapted for wireless network to consume very low power. Okay, in wireless networks. Okay, but that is, or these are called as a power aware routing protocols. Okay, so that should be considered while designing your wireless LAN. Then the third factor is license-free operation. Okay, so suppose you brought your wireless LAN product into the market, then customers are going to need to buy it. Okay, and so when they buy it, they should not need to apply for any licenses, because already they have spent or they are spending money on buying your product. So for communication, they should not have to pay extra amount. So to provide a license free communication, you should operate in a license free band, and that license free band is nothing but the 2.4 gigahertz ISM band. Okay, so that is used overall, world, it is used worldwide, that is 2.4 gigahertz band. That means frequencies in these bands are freely available for communication, so you can set up a network in that frequency band easily. So any communication outside this band has to be purchased from a IEEE. Okay, so that you will not communicate illegally with other networks. Okay, so license free operation is another major or main design goal of the wireless LAN. Then the next goal while designing your wireless LAN should be, it should provide a robust transmission technology. It should provide robust transmission technology. That means your wireless LAN should operate under difficult conditions also. At the same time, it should use radio transmission, which is falling outside the frequency ranges of normal home appliances or electrical devices. Okay, so your transmission should be at a frequency which will not interfere, or which will not interfere with the other electrical appliances, as well as it should be able to communicate in the moment of crisis also. Okay, so that is the next goal. Okay, so while designing, we have certain more goals also. So next goal is regarding ease of use or simplification, we can say. Ease of use. Okay, so that is the simplified spontaneous cooperation at meetings. So whenever you are designing a wireless LAN, it should not require a complicated procedure. Like when you turn on your device, your time should not be consumed in order to participate in the network. Okay, but whenever you switch on your device, it should easily be part of your wireless LAN. Okay, that should be your goal. Okay, so then it should not require complex management also. So it should work on plug and play basis. That means as soon as we switch on, just like in the case of USB we do, when we insert a USB on the computer, you do not require to install the drivers for it. It automatically start communicating with your computer. Similar to that, mobile device, as long as it is following all the regulations, but whenever it comes under the frequency range of your wireless LAN, it should be able to communicate. Okay, so simple management is required. Then the next design goal should be, you should protect the investment in the wire network. So let's say you have brought into the market a new wireless LAN product. So it should not mean that everyone should follow your standard or will follow your products, and whatever existing products that becomes obsolete. Okay, so ऐसा होना नहीं चाहिए. So existing product is also sold by you, and if there is a new product, it should be interoperable with the existing product. That means wireless LAN should protect wired network investment by being interoperable with the existing networks also. Okay, so if there is already a wired network, it should not become useless after implementing wireless network. Okay, because of situation where some of the users may be still using the wired network. Okay, so in order to make that possible, you should provide a mechanism in your wireless LAN to communicate between different types of LANs. Okay, so bridging between the different LANs should be enough to interoperate, so that you should be, or it should be considered while designing your wireless LANs also. Okay, so make a provision so that it can communicate with the other types of LANs also. Okay, then the next goal should be regarding your safety and security. So with the disadvantage we have seen previously, so my wireless LAN should be secure, so nobody should be able to read the data. Then it should be, or it should maintain its privacy, because we know medium is shared, so nobody should be able to understand who are the communicating parties, so their identity should remain anonymous. Okay, at the same time my wireless network should not radiate high power electromagnetic radiations, so that it will not have hazardous effects on the human health. Okay, and the final goal is the transparency. Okay, transparency for applications and higher level protocols. So when we are implementing the wireless LAN, we should keep in mind that applications should not worry about what type of network they are communicating the data over. Okay, that means, for example, a browser. Okay, when you are type certain website address on a browser, so that page is fetched from a server, so server should not worry about whether the page is requested by the browser on a mobile or browser on a computer. Okay, so server should treat both requests at, or sorry, both requests as the same request. Okay, so applications which is a higher layer protocol should not worry about mobility of the communication. So existing applications should continue to run over wireless LAN also. Only difference should be the delay and the bandwidth. Okay, so sometimes it is also required to provide location awareness. So like in the applications such as GPS. So if it is required, then you should be able to provide that also, or that as well. Okay, so these are the main goals that should be considered, or main factors that should be considered while designing a wireless network or wireless local area network. And we have seen the characteristics like advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so let's look at the two basic types of wireless LAN. So these are the two basic type of wireless LAN. One is the infrastructure network and the other one is the ad hoc network. The first one is the infrastructure based network and the second one is the ad hoc network. Okay, so this is the diagram for infrastructure network, this is for infrastructure, and this is for ad hoc network. Okay, so if you look the first, that is the infrastructure based network, that means it requires infrastructure equipment to set up a wireless LAN. Okay, so for example, there will be a wired connections to which access point means router, or it looks like routers will be attached through the wires. So if you can see at the background, they have the connected wires to it. Okay, and these access points will provide the wireless transmission to all the devices within that particular, within the range of that access point. Okay, so that means, as you can see, this is a small network set up by the access point. Now these both small networks, suppose this one is one small network and this one is the other small network handled by the other access point. So these two small networks are a part of the same wireless LAN. Okay, now one more important thing is the devices in this networks will be able to communicate only through the access point. They cannot directly communicate with each other. Okay, so communication between two devices without involvement of the access point is not possible here. So every communication goes through the access point. Simple example is the Wi-Fi. So apart from that, there can be another networks which can be attached to your wireless LAN also. Okay, so that is the infrastructure based network, because it requires infrastructure, like means it requires access points, some wire connections are required. Okay, and so on. Okay, so the next type is the ad hoc network, or completely ad hoc network. Ad hoc network does not rely on infrastructure based network. So ad hoc networks are spontaneously created, here you can see, by devices itself. So in ad hoc networks, devices are able to communicate directly with each other. So no access point, then no wires or nothing is required here. No routers are required. So every mobile device has to be able to communicate with every other by devices. Every other devices or mobile devices must be able to route the packets as well. Okay, so different ad hoc networks can contain different number of nodes. Okay, so we will see the details about these types of networks in the next lecture. But you can see here in the ad hoc networks, the devices are connected directly with each other. This is the one ad hoc network, or one wireless ad hoc LAN, and this is the another wireless ad hoc LAN, which is created between these three devices, whereas here it is created between these three devices, but they can communicate directly. No access points or wired network or infrastructure is required in the case of ad hoc network. Okay, so details about these types of network we will see in the next lecture.